Hey guys, AirT is here, Air for short. I've decided to make a video today on resistance and accuracy, how it works, and what the formula is. Now this is something that's confused a lot of people, and a lot of people are curious as to how this really works. I didn't know how it worked, so I went online and I researched, reading a lot of threads, as well as the Summoner's War explanation, which was horribly articulated, so I decided to make this video to hopefully clear things up. Now I want to start off by explaining when a skill has a debuffing attribute, it's a two-step process. Step 1 I call the activation rate or activation phase, and step 2 is when we take resistance and accuracy into play. I'm going to start off by explaining the activation rate / activation phase. If we take a look at Willem's move, Scene of the Crime, it stuns the enemy for one turn with a 20% chance. This means that 20% of the time that he uses Scene of the Crime, it will activate the stun debuff. Now, if you look down at level 3, harmful effect rate plus 10%, when you level up to level 3, this does not mean that you would add the 10% onto the 20% for a 30% chance of activating the stun debuff. This means that you would take 10% of the 20%, which is 2, add that on for a total of 22%. Also, accuracy does not add on. So if you had 20% accuracy, this would not make it a 20% chance of activation to a 40%. Accuracy is only taken into consideration after the skill has been activated. So on one of those 20% of the times, the skill has been activated. Okay, so that's phase 1. Hopefully that clears that up for you guys. Phase 2 is the resistance versus accuracy phase. Now I want you guys to keep in mind, one simple rule is a monster, a defending monster, can never, ever, ever have lower than 15% resistance. The formula for calculating is resistance of the defending monster subtract the accuracy of the attacking monster. So let's pretend that Yen is attacking Yen. They have the exact same stats. The attacking Yen has passed the activation phase and has now moved into the resistance versus accuracy. She's sitting at 25% resistance, and the attacking Yen is sitting at 0%. So we subtract the 0 from the 25 to end up with 25%. This means that there is a 25% chance that the defending Yen will resist the debuff, and a 75% chance that the attacking Yen will land the debuff. Now if we take a look at Amen here, I've got him up to 45% resistance and accuracy 9%. If he were attacking himself, and again we passed the activation phase, we would subtract the 9% from the 45. So 45 subtract 9 is 36. 36 is the resistance that the defending Amen will have to the debuff. That's simply how you calculate it. So now you have to wonder now, what if a monster has higher accuracy than resistance? Well, you would subtract the 38 from 33, which is going to be a negative number. I believe it's -5. Now, like I said earlier, remember, you can never have lower than 15% resistance. This means that if you get -5, that is not going to be the resistance. The resistance will go to the default 15%. Also, let's take a look at Lucian here. If he were attacking himself, and it was activated, you would subtract the 17 from the 22. This leaves us with 5, which is also lower than 15, which means he would default to the 15% resistance. I hope this clears it up for you guys a little bit. So the simple formula is resistance minus accuracy, and whatever you end up with is the remaining resistance unless it's equal to 15% or lower, then it defaults to 15%, which means no matter what, your accuracy maxes out at 85%. I hope this was helpful for you. Leave any comments or questions if you have any comments or questions, and peace for now.